Welcome to our online chemistry class. Our topic is solutions. Let us discuss part number 3. In this part, we will discuss about the colligative properties of non-electrolyte solutions. So, what is colligative property? That we will discuss first. So, colligative properties are the physical properties of a solution which depends only on the number of solute particles. Particle may be ions or molecules and not on the nature of that solute. So this properties only depends only on number of that solute particles. And which are these different properties? Let us discuss one by one. First is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Second is elevation in boiling point. Third is depression in freezing point. And fourth one is the osmotic pressure. So we have to discuss all these properties one by one. Let us discuss first one, relative lowering of vapor pressure. So for that purpose, you must familiar with what is the meaning of vapor pressure. So vapor pressure of the liquid is the pressure exerted by that liquid when they are in equilibrium with liquid. Means your vapor is in equilibrium with your liquid at a given temperature. This is the definition of vapor pressure. Now, what is the meaning of lowering of vapor pressure? So that is a colligative property. Vapor pressure is not a colligative property. Lowering of vapor pressure is a colligative property. Okay. The vapor pressure of a pure solvent is greater than the vapor pressure of solution containing a non-volatile solute in that liquid. Okay. So why the vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is lower than that of pure solvent? So the vapor pressure of a liquid depends on the edge with which the molecules escape from the surface of liquid. When a non-volatile solute is dissolved in a solvent, some of the surface molecule of solvent are replaced by non-volatile solute molecule, and these solute molecules do not contribute to vapors above the solution. Thus, the number of solvent molecule available for vaporization per unit surface area of solution is less than the number at the surface of pure solvent. As a result, the solvent molecule at the surface of the solution vaporize at a slower rate than pure solvent, and due to this, what is the result? Result is that there is a lowering of vapor pressure. There is a elevation to boiling point. Okay. Now, vapor pressure lowering. When a non-volatile solute is added to a solvent, the surface area of the solvent is partly occupied by non-volatile solute molecules and partly by the solvent molecule. So this explanation can be very easily explained with this diagram in front of you. So in first jar there is only solvent molecule and that solvent is volatile, and if we add a non-volatile solute particle which are indicated by red circle added in your solvent, and due to that added non-volatile solute particle, number of particles at the surface which are solvent molecule in the previous jar goes on decreasing in the second jar, because few particles of non-volatile solute replaces that solvent particles. So number of, and which are non-volatile, they cannot be vaporized, only solvent molecule or solvent particles can vaporize. So rate of vaporization decreases on that particular surface area, and due to this there is a lowering of vapor pressure. Then, so Raoult's law for solutions of non-volatile solute. So Raoult's law gives the quantitative relationship between vapor pressure of solution and vapor pressure of solvent, that we already discussed. So Raoult's law states that the relative lowering of vapor pressure of a solution containing a non-volatile solute is equal to the mole fraction of the solute in the solution. So we have to prove this with derivation. So for that purpose we must know few terms, and let us discuss one by one. If Pa, the vapor pressure of solution, so in your book that instead of A, one number is mentioned, and for B, two number is mentioned. So you can write any one, but you have to write the correct meaning of that terms while writing the derivation. So don't forget, don't write only the terms, you have to always write the meaning of the terms before the derivation to write. So what is Pa? The vapor pressure of solution. Pa0, the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Okay, when we add non-volatile solute in your solvent, then vapor pressure becomes Pa. Initially vapor pressure of that pure solvent is Pa0, while Xa is the mole fraction of that solvent molecules. So according to Raoult's law, Pa, vapor pressure of the solution, is equal to the product of vapor pressure of that pure solvent multiplied by the mole fraction of that solvent, and this was represented by equation 2.1. What is the change in vapor pressure? It is denoted by delta P, and as we earlier discussed, there is a lowering of vapor pressure when we add non-volatile solute in your pure solvent. So it is equal to vapor pressure of pure solvent minus vapor pressure of solution. So delta P is equal to PA0 minus PA. Here PA0 means vapor pressure of pure solvent is greater than that of vapor pressure of solution. Okay, and it is indicated in your equation 2.2. So from this equation, so if we substitute the previous equation, Pa is equal to Pa0 into Xa in this equation 2.2. Okay, so what we get? Delta P is here, delta P is equal to Pa0 as it is, and value of Pa is Pa0 into Xa. So Pa0 is common, taking outside the bracket, what is the equation become? So delta P is equal to Pa0 in bracket 1 minus Xa, that is new equation 2.3. So we know that the sum of the mole fraction of components present in your solution is always equal to 1. So in your solution there is a solvent and solute. So mole fraction of solvent Xa and that of solute is Xb is always equal to 1. So Xa plus Xb is equal to 1. Then how will you write the value of Xb? 1 minus Xa is equal to Xb. So substituting the value of 1 minus Xa, 2.3, what we get? delta P is equal to PH0 into XP. Okay, so it is obvious that decrease in vapor pressure depends on the mole fraction of solute, and it was mentioned by Raoults. Okay, now next one is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now we calculated the change in vapor pressure. What is the relative lowering of vapor pressure? So the ratio of vapor pressure lowering or lowering of vapor pressure of solvent, that is delta P, divided by vapor pressure of pure solvent. What is vapor pressure of pure solvent? PA0. So if we divide delta P by PA0, then we got relative vapor pressure lowering or lowering of relative vapor pressure. What is delta P? In the previous equation, delta P is equal to PA0 minus PA. Divide it by PA0. So what is your equation? And we know that the previous equation 2.4. What is the 2.4? Here delta P is equal to PA0 into XB. So if you transfer this PA0 to left side, P divided by PA0 is equal to XB. So this is the rearrangement from your equation 2.4. Here we write it is equal to XB, and so what this is the relative lowering of pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute, and it is also be written as delta PA0 minus PA, which is equal to delta P. Okay, so remember this equation while solving the problem based on relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now next one is how you calculate the molar mass of solute from the relative lowering of vapor pressure. So for that purpose we have to write again the formula for relative lowering of vapor pressure. So we studied that relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction XB of solute in the solution. Delta P upon PA0 is equal to XB, and we can write XB is equal to, so what is XB? XB mole fraction is nothing but number of moles of that substance, here it is solute, divided by total number of moles. So there are two component A and B. So mole fraction is nothing but number of moles of that particular component divided by total number of moles. So XB is equal to NB divided by Na plus NB. Na and NB are the moles of solvent and solute respectively in that particular solution. Okay. Then next one. So when we have to conserve only with dilute solution. So in case of dilute solution, number of solute particles is very less. The number of moles of that solute is very less than that of number of moles of solvent. So from that, and it is applicable only for dilute solution. So hence Na is very greater than Nb, or Nb is very less than Na. And what do you write? Na plus Nb. Then is nearly equal to Na. So the mole fraction Xb is then given by substituting Na plus Nb in the denominator is equal to Na. So Xb is equal to Nb divided by Na. Okay, and what do we write? the relative lowering of vapor pressure delta P divided by PA0 is equal to XB, which is equal to NB divided by NA. This is our new equation 2.7. And suppose that we prepare a solution by dissolving WB. This is the of that solute in gram in WA gram of solvent. Remember that A is always for solvent, B is for solute. Then you can easily remember the symbols. And the moles of solute and solvent in the solutions are there. So how do you write the number of moles? It is represented by Na for solvent and Nb for solute. So Na is equal to Wa divided by Ma, mass of that A component divided by molar mass, and Nb is equal to Wb divided by Mb. Okay, Ma and Mb are molar mass of solvent and solute respectively. Okay, then what is our equation 2.5? So substituting the value of Na and Nb in the above 2.7 equation, what do we get? Okay, we get our equation becomes XB is equal to delta P divided by PA0 is equal to NB divided by Na, which is equal to WB divided by MB divided by WA divided by MA. Okay, so what is delta P? It is PA0 minus PA, which is equal to, so what is your equation? Relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to WB into MA divided by WA into MB. So if you know all the other quantities, molar mass of solute MB can be calculated by using this formula. So once again I will revise the terms involved in your formula. So PA0 is the vapor pressure of pure solvent, Pa is the vapor pressure of solution, delta P is the change in vapor pressure, that is lowering of vapor pressure, and delta P divided by PA0 is relative lowering of vapor pressure, XB is the mole fraction of that solute, WA is the weight of solvent, WB is weight of solute, Ma is the molar mass of solvent, and Mb is the molar mass of solute respectively. Okay, so I think all of you understood the formula. Let us discuss the numerical based on this formula. So vapor pressure of water at 20 degree centigrade is 17 mmHg. What is the vapor pressure of the solution containing 2.8 gram of urea in 50 gram of water? Given is that PA0 means vapor pressure of solvent, here it is water, 17 mm of Hg. Then mass of urea Wb is equal to 2.8 gram. Molar mass you have to calculate, it is for urea is 60.06 gram per mole. Then mass of water, that is solvent, it is equal to 50 gram, and molar mass of water is 18 gram per mole. And by using this given thing you can calculate the vapor pressure of water. PA is to be calculated. So according to Raoult's law, what is relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to PA0 minus PA divided by PA is equal to WB into MA divided by WA into MB. So substituting the values of given thing, 17 minus PA is equal to divided by 17 is equal to WB is equal to 2.8, MA is 18 divided by WA is 50 and MB is equal to 60.06. So formula carrying half mass and substitution carrying half mass. Then you have to solve this, transfer the 17 to right hand side and solve this by using logarithm. So P is equal to 17 minus 0.2853. So your answer is 16.71 mmHg. So in this way you can solve the numerical based on relative lowering of vapor pressure. Try for another numericals from your textbook. Now next one is next colligative properties, elevation in boiling point. So all are familiar with the boiling point. Boiling point of liquid is the temperature at which its vapor pressure equal to the applied pressure, that is atmospheric pressure. So for liquids in open container, the applied pressure is the atmospheric pressure. So an addition of a non-volatile solute in a solvent, the vapor pressure of the solvent decreases, that we already discussed. As vapor pressure is directly proportional to the temperature, and in order to boil a solution, we need to raise the boiling point of solution to a certain temperature. This raising of temperature is called as elevation in boiling point. So if we add a solute like non-volatile solute NaCl in water, the solution containing non-volatile solute NaCl boil at temperature higher than the boiling point of pure solvent, that is water. That is, the boiling point of the solution is greater than that of pure solvent if terms are given. TB0 means boiling point of pure solvent, 0 for solvent and without 0 for solution. TB is boiling point of solution. Then elevation in boiling point is denoted by delta TB and it can be calculated by, it is elevation means increase. So delta TB is equal to TB minus TB0. So the boiling point of solution is greater than boiling point of pure solvent. Then we can easily understood in the graph boiling point elevation as a consequence of vapor pressure lowering. So in this graphical representation, the vapor pressure of solution of a pure solvent are plotted as a function of temperature, which is given in your graph. So vapor pressure against temperature. So this is the atmospheric pressure, that is 1 atm 1.013 bar or 760 mm of Hg. So this line is for solvent, which is indicated with orange line, and solution line is indicated with blue. Then this point is the boiling point of solvent. In your book it is A, and this is point indicate boiling point of solution. So in your book it is C. So this solvent line is AB. So the vapor pressure temperature curve of solution is CD here, and it lies below the solvent line, here A and here B. Okay, so the difference between the two vapor pressure increases as temperature, and the vapor pressure increases as predicted by the equation. Delta P is equal to x2 into PA0. The intersection of the curve, solution curve, with the line correspond to 1 atm, that is 760 mm of Hg, is the boiling point of solution. So it is denoted with this line, and here it is the boiling point of your solution Tb. Similar, the intersection of the curve, solvent curve, is the boiling point of pure solvent to 1 atm. So this line is the boiling point of your solvent. It is denoted by Tb0, and it is clear from this graph that the boiling point of solution is higher than that of pure solvent. Okay, and at the boiling point of liquid, its vapor pressure is equal to 1 atm. So this is according to the definition. So in order to reach the boiling point, the solution and solvent must be heated to a temperature at which their respective vapor pressure attains 1 atm. So at any given temperature, the vapor pressure of solution is lower than that of pure solvent. Hence, the vapor pressure of solution needs higher temperature to reach 1 atm than that needed for vapor pressure of solvent. So in other words, the solution must be heated higher temperature to cause it to boil than the pure solvent, and it is denoted by delta Tb. It is equal to Tb minus Tb0. So I think all of you understood the graphical representation of boiling point elevation. Then next one is boiling point elevation and concentration of solute. So experimentally it has been found that elevation in boiling point in dilute solution is directly proportional to the molality, not molarity, molality M of solute present in a solution. It is denoted by small m, and molarity is denoted by capital M. So all of you must know the difference between molality and molarity. So here we use molality. Okay, and molality is independent of temperature, while molarity depends on temperature. So that's why molarity term is not mentioned here. Okay, so remember this, always use small m and write down the meaning as molality. So if we write capital M, then your derivation is wrong. So delta Tb, elevation in boiling point, is directly proportional to molality of solute. Delta Tb is equal to Kb into M, where what is molality? Molality M is the number of moles of solute present in 100 gram of solvent, that is 1 kg of solvent, and molarity is the, instead of 100 gram there is a 1 liter, means it is the volume, and here it is the mass. That is the main difference between molality and molarity. and if m is equal to 1, if we substitute m is equal to 1 in this formula, then delta Tb is equal to Kb. So we got a constant value, and that is Kb is the molar elevation constant or ebullioscopic constant, and it is the boiling point elevation produced by 1 molar solution. And what is the unit? The standard unit for Kb is Kelvin kilogram per mole. Next one is, by using this elevation in boiling point, we can calculate the molar mass of solute from boiling point elevation. Okay. For that purpose, we must know the previous formula and some terms. Let Wa and Wb are mass of solvent and solute respectively. Then Ma and Mb are molar mass of solvent and solute respectively. The elevation in boiling point is given by delta Tb is equal to Kb into m by using previous formula, and the molality is given by the formula m is equal to number of moles of that solute divided by mass of that solvent. So number of mole of solute is equal to mass of that solute divided by molar mass. So Nb is equal to Wb divided by Mb. So this is the number of moles of solute, and Wa is the mass of that solvent. Okay, so substituting the value of M, which is equal to Nb divided by Wa, Nb is equal to Wb divided by Mb. So your M is equal to Wb divided by Mb into Wa. Okay. So while writing the derivation, you must write first M is equal to Nb, means number of moles of solute, divided by Wa, that is mass of solvent, and then Nb is equal to Wb divided by Mb divided by W. Okay. So this is 2.11. Then substituting this M in the above equation, then delta Tb is equal to Kb into Wb, Kb into Wb divided by Mb into Wa. Hence, the expression for molar mass of the solute is equal to, it is denoted by Mb is equal to Kb Wb as it is, and in the denominator only exchange the Mb with delta Tb. So divided by delta Tb into W. So by using this formula, you can calculate the molar mass of your solute. So again, I will revise the terms, and while writing the derivation, always mention your terms which are given in your formula. So Mb means here molar mass of solute, Kb is ebullioscopic constant or molar elevation boiling point constant, then Wb is mass of solute, delta Tb is elevation in boiling point, and Wa is mass of solvent. So by using this formula, we can solve some numerical based on this elevation in boiling point, and we can calculate the molar mass. So remember this formula again. To see the numerical based on boiling point. So the boiling point of a pure liquid is 353.23 Kelvin. If we add 2.70 gram of non-volatile solute in 90 gram of liquid, the boiling point of the solution rises to 354.11 Kelvin. What will be the molar mass of non-volatile solute? Take the value of Kb is equal to 2.33 Kelvin kilogram per mole. So which are the given thing? First we have to mention, so boiling point of pure liquid, that is Tb0 is equal to 353.23. Then this 2.70 is the mass of non-volatile solute, Wb. Then 90 is the mass of solvent, that is Wa. Then Kb is 2.53 and boiling point of solution, that is Tb is equal to 354.11 Kelvin. So by using these terms given, we can calculate. So first write down the elevation in boiling point delta Tb is equal to Tb minus Tb0, boiling point of solution minus boiling point of solvent, 354.11 Kelvin minus 353.23 Kelvin. So your answer is 0.88 Kelvin. Molar mass of solute is equal to Kb into Wb divided by delta Tb into Wa, 2.53 Kelvin into 2.70 gram divided by 0.88 into 90. So 0.08625 is in kilogram answer. That is the in kilogram. If you multiply it by 1000, then your molar mass of solute in gram is equal to 86.25. So this is about the numerical. Thank you for watching my video. Visit YouTube channel Mukesh Kharge, like, subscribe and share.